Dan is here. Levitard is a French name, translates to bloated. I don't want to say that Dan's new TV show is going to be bad, but the working title is The Chris Volstead Show. It's like I'm watching, like half the people are getting it, other people are getting it, why do you take me here? And my wife is fucking up a sandwich. And it's not just me, the network doesn't have that much faith in Dan's show either. I've been told that in ESPN programming meetings, they're calling it pardon the cancellation. Is he laughing? Dan's one of these sports writers that ESPN tries to force down our throats as experts. ESPN this is what they do now. They tell us Bill Simmons during the NBA Finals, he's an expert. Dan Levitard's an expert. I don't trust Dan Levitard as an expert for ESPN unless the E stood for ego. And the N for nachos. Only 37 more pages to go. Dan Levitard has such a big ego, even Barry Bonds thinks he has a big head. You remember that from the steroids? That joke killed 9 years ago. So Dan's starting this new TV show on ESPN in September, a daily television show on ESPN. Give him a hand. That's exciting. Stugotz and I are not part of it, though. We were not asked. We're still wishing him well, though. We're still wishing him well. Because even though we've done the radio show together for 8 years, and we all said that if it ever turned into a TV show, we'd do it together, even though that happened, and Dan went and did the TV show without us, we are still rooting for him. Because the truth is, Dan is all about friendship and loyalty. He's our own personal Nevin Shapiro. And how about that little guy, huh? Taking everybody's money just so he could hang out with athletes. But enough about David Sampson. I was talking about that. A little early on that. Now, Dan, we're just kidding. We are hoping your show does great. We're hoping you're the next George Lopez. You really can stop laughing. Dan's very different than me and Stugotz. After the show, Stugotz and I, we will mingle with the crowd, we'll take drinks, have photos, we like that. Dan, you will find sprinting as fast as he can through the sovereign ancient land of the Seminole Indians as he looks for his sports car, convertible, so he can drive out of here without having to interact with any of you. He is very different than us. And even though this is the sovereign ancient land of the Seminole Indians, even they'll admit, Jack McKeon was here first. Jack McKeon is so old, his social security number is 2. My wife bet me a blowjob I wouldn't tell that awful joke. Levitard is a strange dude. He sees black and white in everything. He spends more time talking about race than Greg LeMond. No Viking fans. Just prepared for that one. Dan is so into black and white. Dan is so into black and white, his collection of porn features Charlie Chaplin. Dan is so awkward socially, he shouldn't be on radio, he should be on Zoloft. changed radio here in South Florida. It's bad now. You know, Dan sits there and he'll write column after column criticizing players and owners and the decisions they've made and general managers and the decisions they made. And then his first major radio decision is to hire Stu Gatz. Wasn't ready yet. That's the worst decision since Brian Dunkelman decided to leave American Idol. I'm not exactly certain how Dan ended up choosing Stu Gatz as his partner, but I'm pretty sure it involved waterboarding. It's funny, I thought that one was funny. This one's iffy. Levitard and Stu Gatz, an ego-driven alpha male and his monkey partner. The original name of the show was BJ and the Bear. I thought it was funny, but from years ago. A lot of people are impressed, though, after 8 years of doing the show, that Stu Gatz has changed his opinions on a lot of issues because of Dan. I'm just impressed Stu Gatz has learned how to use his thumbs. Stu Gatz has a daily radio show in a major market. He's the most successful monkey since Davy Jones. I consider Dan to be a more successful animal trainer than Siegfried and Roy. And speaking of Roy, when we get to the live top 10 list, please laugh because he is tightly wound. He will kill us if this goes through. That is not sports comedy, that's a warning. Of course, I'm just joking, of course. I'm joking about Dan and Stu Gatz, not about Roy. You know, tightly wound. So please, during the top 10 list, make sure you're laughing. Man, are there any Power 96 fans in here? Because I wrote a joke that says Stu Gatz's original radio name was the chimp with the limp. Everybody know that one? I feel bad for his wife, Abby, because Stu Gatz's brain only works on sports. Everything to Stu Gatz is sports. Everything revolves around sports. When asked who parted the Red Sea, he said, Moises. Stu Gatz thinks All Saints Day is a celebration of Willie Roaf. Guzio is cracking up. Raymond Guzio is here, ladies and gentlemen. Stu Gatz is so bad on radio, he should change his name to Jimmy Cephalo. Speaking of the Marlins, I didn't have a good transition for that one. The Marlins this year, they have brought us 38-year-old Mike Cameron and 80-year-old Jack McKeon. What are they going to do next to excite us? Build a MySpace page? And what's going to happen if the city spent, and fucking Javi Vasquez today pitched a great game, ruined Mike. I'm going to bulldoze ahead with some Javi Vasquez jokes. I know he had 11 strikeouts today, alright? Fuck Javi Vasquez. So the Marlins are going to spend all this money, all of your money, building a new ballpark. What happens if the Marlins spend all this money building the new ballpark and no one shows up? Or worse, what if Javi Vasquez does show up? You know, Javi, a very good season! That's my catchphrase. Not certain it has the staying power of a wild and crazy guy, but too late to do some heat jokes because I wrote them. I was walking through the casino before I got here tonight. Did anyone see LeBron James in the casino? I saw him. He was playing the slots. He plays 3 quarters. I've played poker with some of the guys from the Heat before. It's not much fun. They just fold. June would have fucking killed. In the NBA is in a lockout right now, which means the Miami Heat can do absolutely nothing for the team. Like the NBA Finals. And Shaquille O'Neal, former Heat center, he is now a broadcaster for TNT. A lot of people think the worst job in the world is crab fishing in the Bering Sea. I say the toughest job in the world is the guy that has to write the transcription for Shaq's analysis. Damn it. And it was funny because it's followed up with how to spell. I like to consider myself a sports comic, but the original sports comics are the Miami Dolphins' unbelievable joke. Chad Henne is your starting quarterback. It's an unbelievable joke they played on us. And the Dolphins, of course, they've got some celebrity owners, two notable ones, Mark Anthony and Jennifer Lopez, are getting divorced. And of course, they're fighting about the Dolphins. Nobody wants them. And I understand Bill Parcells is going to be arrested and charged with bestiality. He loves fucking dolphins. Bill Parcells, that guy has done more damage to dolphins than Japanese fishing vessels. Greenpeace should sail a boat around him. We don't have much exciting in the way of sports going on in South Florida. The Marlins like to bunt, the Dolphins like to punt, and my wife is a huge supporter of my comedy. I've been very nervous about this show. I threw up 9 times in the green room. So my only solace, as I've been stressing over this for 4 weeks, is the fact that Dan has had to do that. When you see Dan in a Speedo, you're going to see a Cuban packed so tightly and uncomfortably into something, you're going to think